Sure.
Participants, today we have most of the participants are from Lodha Aqua, which is a residential complex just at the across the highway what we see. So today we have kept this special session at their request. They with the upcoming 10th and 12th exams, apparently they were looking for something as a stress booster, and I thought of both of you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sujay and Ms. Kasturi. And a warm welcome to the residents of Lodha Aqua. This is our first session for this, and we are looking for conducting many more in the future as per their request. But yes, this is a crucial time, and we thought like let's do something for the parents as well as the children, keeping in mind the upcoming board exams. I would do an introduction of our speakers for our audience. Today we have with us Dr. Sujay Prabhugaonkar. He has completed his MBA and he has done his MIMER Medical College Pune in 2005. He has completed his post-graduation from Somaya Medical College in 2008. He has done his diploma in psychiatric medicine. He is practicing since 2010 and he is attached with us as an honorary consultant in psychiatry. We also, he has presented a paper called Psychiatric Comorbidity in Indoor Psychiatric Patients. We will not go into more details there because this would not be relevant to our topic that we are taking up today. He has also done his introductory course in psychoanalysis at PTRC Mumbai. He has done a certified course in rational emotive behavior therapy and neuro-linguistic programming. That is a brief introduction of Dr. Sujay. And we also have Miss Kasturi Roy with us. She's attached with us as a consultant clinical psychologist. She has done her MA Applied Clinical Psychology. And she also is attached with Kavish Emotional Enhancement and Care. She has previous experience of working in JJ Hospital, the LDMGH Sion Hospital, and Thane Mental Hospital. She's an expert in individual and group therapy. I'm sure a lot of people will benefit today from you, Ms. Kasturi. She is a trained in CBT, REBT, transactional analysis, and art-based therapies. Her approach is elected and specific to the individual groups or unique needs. She uses a multicultural approach for people of different age groups, socioeconomic areas, ethnic backgrounds, sexualities, and sexual orientations. Today, we have a mix of the parents as well as the children. Neetu madam, are you there in the session now? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Yeah. So if you could just brief us about what is the mix of the crowd that we have for this session, so that the speakers can take it ahead accordingly.
Yeah, actually, see, I am a mother to 2 kids. Okay, my kids are grown up. So I know the anxiety a parent goes through and the kid goes through before the exams. So there are most of the people, members who are attending are parents to such kids who are going to give the exams,
Okay.
And also the kids, teenage kids, as it is, they are adamant little bit compared to other age groups. So I just want you to make them feel easy with the situation. That's it.
Okay. So now I hand over to the speakers. I welcome them. And should I start the share the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Is everybody able to see the screen? Hello?
Yes, I'm able to.
Doctors, are you all able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, can we put it on the slideshow? Yeah. All right.
Over to you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful afternoon. We will take a few moments of your life to discuss a very important subject matter right now, which is the idea of exams. Before starting to talk about anything related to the exams, I would like to know, as I heard that there are some students who have joined us as well. So I would love to first point out the fact that this entire year has been extremely difficult for everyone, especially students who are more used to being in that environment, going to school every day, being with their friends. There is a huge amount of missing out that has been happening in their life, and they have missed out on a lot of beautiful opportunities because of this pandemic that we are all going through. So I want to just focus on telling you, all of you, how you have done a great job. You have made the most out of this very difficult situation, and very commendable. And it's already a huge success that you guys have been trying to achieve such a big prominent life goal at this stage, especially in this particular difficult time. So I just, if we take us to the next slide, the slide also tells us about the same thing. I just want to commend everyone to the fact that you have done a great job. And I would really, if possible, I would like you all to give yourself a good round of applause and, pat on the back, whatever is possible. All of the parents, the students, everybody, just have this 1 minute of. Hello.
Yes,
Can I
sir.
please request everybody to mute their calls, please, except the speakers?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes. At any time, if anybody has questions, we have this entire section of question or answers in the end. You can please definitely ask and discuss things with us. All right. Until then, I would please request you to mute the call for now. This session, I intend to keep this session to be as interactive as possible as well. So there will be moments where if we have some questions, you please feel free to unmute yourself and interact with us, talk to us, tell us your views about the same, about the topics that we're discussing. All right. So without wasting any more time, let's start with this topic that we have at hand today. I want to discuss about the idea of exams. Now, if there is a child, if there is a student listening to us right now, I would really like to hear from their side, what is the meaning of exam for you? Or what is the idea of exam for you? Can anybody just tell me about that? Hello? Okay, I think we have a lot of shy students here. So it's okay. We can just go ahead. If nobody is willing to speak, I'll just go ahead and discuss about it. All right?
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Can I just tell my people, ask my people? Hello, Bacha Party. See, this seminar, this webinar is arranged for you all. So feel free to question them. Okay, they are here to help you out. So please don't be shy in this situation. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Just like ma'am said, we are here to just understand and deal and speak about what are the things that you all have been going through and help you wade your way through it, right? So I'll just go ahead right now. Maybe future, in the next few moments, we'll start opening up slowly and slowly. Okay. So the next slide, please.
Next.
No, the one before this. Yes. So exams, why are they important for us, and what is the idea of exam that we have in the society and amongst us? So because of the pressures from the society and the outlook that we have towards exam, it is given a very flawed structure. Instead of us, taking it as a positive thing, we end up being scared of it. We end up being very anxious in that situation. But the reality is the fact that exams are used to give us an evaluation for our, whatever we have learned at this moment. I think somebody's call is on unmute, and I'm not able to hear myself because of that. Can we please see into that? Yeah, okay. Not only are exams to give answers correctly, they are also just to see if there is any kind of evaluation and to understand where I stand on knowledge. Mataji at Bhaktivedanta Hospital, could we please mute the call?
Okay, no, I'm doing the recording, so I will not be able to mute the call. One
Okay,
minute. Yeah, because I am sitting in my office and I can. Yeah, I understand there is a
Yeah.
sound in the background. One minute.
Okay,
Let me
okay.
just figure out.
Sure. Thank you.
I think that is recording. Almost time. Yeah, I'm getting it sorted out, Nataji.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, as I was speaking about, exams are more to test on where I stand on my knowledge about the subject. So, it doesn't judge how much capacity or our caliber is. It only judges how much we have prepared for the exam. So, if it will be, judging my preparation of that exam. That doesn't mean that it's judging my caliber, कि मेरी capacity कितनी है, कि मेरा intelligence कितना है. There's a huge misconception that our exams are, to test how intelligent I am. Or the marks are actually going to define कि मैं कितनी smart हूँ या फिर मैं कितना smart हूँ. That is not true. It is only going to define how much I'm able to produce onto paper and how much I've prepared for that exam. That's it. So there's nothing more to it apart from that. And every single child is unique in their own way. So their capabilities and capacities is going to be all different. Some people are good in studies, some people are good in other activities, and it doesn't even have to be based on talents. It can be anything. Some people are more caring and they have, they just are a nice person. They like to smile at others, they like to help others. These are very, very important characteristics to have. जिसके लिए हम एग्जाम कभी नहीं लिखते. देयर इज नो एग्जाम फॉर अस टू राइट ऑन टू पेपर कि आप कितने लोगों को आपने हेल्प किया, राइट? बट दैट इज एन इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ. So boards, these board exams are only for us to get into the next step of life, which is your 11th standard. If you're a 10th standard student, the board exam will decide how and which college you'll go into the 11th standard. And if you're in 12th standard, it will only help you to get into the college in the next. In the future, 10 years down the line, when you're looking for a job or when you're looking into, career aspects which you're very excited about, these marks will not matter much in the longer run. So you have to see the bigger picture and understand that yes, board exams are important for me now, today, but it's not everything. It is not my entire life. Although at this moment it feels like that. But in the future, it becomes a small part of my life, and then I can move on with other activities and other parts of my life. So again, just like it's mentioned on the PPT, it judges our preparation and not our caliber. We'll go to the next slide, please. Okay, so there are various factors that are associated to exams, right? Can anybody now tell me what are these factors that we can think about with respect to exams? There are 3 things mentioned on the screen, which is uniqueness, which I already spoke about. हर एक student अलग होता है अपने ही मतलब में. हर एक student, हर एक इंसान अपने की family, everybody is different in their own way, right? Second part is we learn. We have to learn in different ways. Preparation is talking about this moment. Now I hear that the most of the boards have increased their time. The boards have been postponed to the month of May, and the syllabus has also been reduced to up to 30 to 33% or something like that. So there is still time for you for that last moment preparation where you can revise things, learn things, if at all that is still remaining. So that aspect is there. What else do you think is important for us to consider during exams? Can anybody please tell me? Students, parents, anybody?
Ma'am, though my kids are grown up, I just have a question. Like, I don't know, other parents might ask for no. I have usually seen parents that they will nag kids, अरे पढ़ता ही नहीं है, पढ़ता ही नहीं है. Okay,
Yes.
though the kid might get 92%, फिर भी they are not satisfied. So how
Yes.
does a parent get satisfied? Like, what is the way they need to think कि बच्चा अच्छा कर रहा है?
Very, very good point to bring out. Very good point. Yes. Continue, please. Somebody was saying something. Okay, Jayani here just mentioned on the chat that health is also an important factor in at play over here. The factor which ma'am just pointed out about nagging children and speaking about them, telling them constantly, we will definitely come to that towards the end of the session, which is specially directed towards parents, apart from what we're going to discuss otherwise as well. All right. So we will take that up as well. I am just trying to consider things which are currently more interactive with children, more directed towards children. Ma'am, could we have the next, just click on the slide again? Emotions. There are a lot of emotions that a child goes through during these months. A lot of emotions, ups and downs, things to do with studies, things to do with future, current life situation. So, how they are able to process that emotion, if the parents are being communicative with them or not, if they are being communicative with other people or not. So, there's this innate need of understanding their emotions, which is very, very important. Can we have the next click, please? Stress and anxiety. Now, just as I speak about the next few topics, Dr. Suja will give us a brief detail about how stress and anxiety plays, into our physical and mental struggle during these difficult times. Okay. Next, please. Routine building. Now, we cannot always depend on how much motivated I feel today. आज मुझे नहीं मन कर रहा है. I'm feeling very lethargic. I'm feeling very lazy. I'm not able to, have that much physical strength to do anything. But कल शायद मुझे अच्छा feel हो रहा है. I am going to be able to, आज मैं बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ के दिखाऊंगा. So these, erraticness of the routine build, erraticness of our emotions makes us lose out on a lot of time. So routine is something which helps us to stick to a particular system. That chalo, at least 2 ghanta, 3 ghanta. Now, of course, that I'm talking about when you were preparing. Right now, probably you are taking your entire routine the entire day in a way where you have to study, revise, take some break, again study, revise, take some break. We'll come to that part when we discuss how to cope up these things. But it's one of the biggest things that matter. हमारी routine सब गड़बड़ हो जाता है because we're not sleeping, kids are not eating their food properly, or sometimes they're eating too much because they are tensed. So there are various things that come up in this routine. The next one, taking care of your body. Just like ma'am mentioned on the chat, health is one of the biggest predispositions. We will come to how to cope with it soon. The next, click one more time. Fatigue and exhaustion. Now, this entire year has been very different from all the others before. So even while I was, I usually give this such kind of workshops every year before the examinations come. But this year was different. This year I had to go ask students, feel them, understand what they have gone through, because more than anything, they have been facing screen fatigue. They have been sitting in front of the screen for 4, 5 hours, 6, 7 hours the entire day. Eyes are getting strained. There is no और कोई stimulation है ही नहीं, किसी से बात नहीं कर पा रहे, focus maintain हो ही नहीं रहा. कैसे होगा? They are ultimately kids. हमारा भी नहीं होता है for such a long period of time, right? So this fatigue and exhaustion is very important. Has been playing a big role for us this year. The next thing is, the last point here is talking about uncertainty. Can we have a click? Yeah. What uncertainty means here is, there have been several board exams or several exams that the kids have gone throughout this entire year. Tests diya, prelims diya, sab kuch diya, but none of them have been in place in real life. कि हम board exam की जो atmosphere होता है कि 3 घंटा में वहां पे 2-3 घंटा में वहां पे बैठ के बाकी लोगों के सामने I'm going to be giving that exam paper, that requires preparation and training, जो कि इस साल नहीं हो पाया है for anybody, for any of the child. And that uncertainty somewhere gives a lot of fear in the child's mind. And कि क्या होगा इसके बारे में, results कब आएंगे, future में क्या होगा. So that uncertainty has been a big factor right now. Next slide, please. Like I mentioned, the COVID-19's effect has been huge for us. The world changed overnight. Everything shifted to online. Even extracurricular activities, जो हम एक दूसरे के साथ डांस कर रहे हैं या फिर PE games खेल रहे हैं. I heard a very funny thing that PE teachers are actually just playing videos, YouTube videos of games on the screen. उसमें बच्चों की फिजिकल डेवलपमेंट एंड ऑलराउंड डेवलपमेंट में उस तरीके से नहीं हो पा रही है जितना हम चाहते हैं, जितना हम कर पाएंगे in real life, right? So that has been a very very big thing. Like I said, lack of concentration and focus, screen fatigue, skepticism to ask doubts. वैसे भी हमारे क्लास में जब फेस टू फेस टीचर रहती है, कुछ बच्चे होते हैं जो डाउट्स या फिर उनके मन में कुछ भी अगर होता है तो दे आर स्कैर्ड टू आस्क, दे आर वेरी स्केप्टिक, दे आर नॉट एबल टू ट्रस्ट कि मैं पूछूंगा तो शायद मेरा आंसर गलत हो गया तो आर माय फ्रेंड्स गोइंग टू जज मी, इज द टीचर गोइंग टू जज मी. That same factor has been even more right now online because they have that option of not being on the screen. So they will not ask their doubts at all. They feel very scared कि मैं क्या पूछूंगा. Nobody is going to be able to cater to my understanding. And teachers are of course trying their best, and hats off to them for that. Teachers have been trying their best, but they also have to take care of which student is saying what, understanding chat में कौन क्या बोल रहा है. उस चक्कर में काफी चीजें मिस आउट हो गई है. And the right kind of education that we expect to give our children, we are not able to give that. We weren't, as a whole, as a society, we were not able to do that for our kids. So that is another thing to talk about. Subject fear. Now here a lot of kids we'll hear talking about getting scared of maths का एग्जाम या फिर साइंस का एग्जाम बहुत डरावना है, कैसे देंगे, कैसे होगा. Math, science being scary already is one factor. Now the practice, the kind of math sums that you solve, everything is happening online. So अगर पहले 10 बार practice किया जाता था, अभी वो practice 2 ही बार हो रही है. And there's no checking of that sort of homeworks as it used to before. घर पे भी parents have their limitations. Not everybody is qualified enough to understand everything that the child is learning as of now, which is very obvious. Sabki, everybody has different kind of education levels and interests. So these are the COVID-19's effect, which has been there on every student in this year. So we cannot negate that. हम ये सब को हमें ये सोचना ही पड़ेगा. Here I would like to address the parents that we have to consider these factors and be a little bit, careful of understanding what the child is feeling and be more empathetic towards them. And अगर वो लोग नहीं concentrate कर पा रहे, focus नहीं concentrate कर पा रहे, here I would say instead of nagging them, instead of shouting at them, rationalizing with them, explaining it to them that okay, we understand that this is very difficult, but I'm there with you. Let's do it. This is 1 year that will really be difficult. Hopefully soon, as Corona goes away, things will be better. The last thing is dealing with fear in their own way and apprehension of exam environment. I think we've already covered that. The next part of this is talking about what this exam fear and anxiety is, what it does to our body and mind, and how to deal with it. So here I invite Dr. Sujay to continue with our slides from here, and he will take over.
Hi. Very nice session, Kasturi. I got a lot of information from your slides and your lecture. It was really good. I think all the students must have connected by now. And
I hope
try
so.
and provide. Yeah, definitely. And I'll try and provide the little technical details to whatever you spoke. And definitely, then you will be taking over. So the stress and anxiety part that you had said. So I'll continue with that. Next slide. Yeah. So simple, why does exam anxiety occur? What is the reason for exam anxiety? So all of us, now Kasturi has spoken about stress because of lockdown, because of online exams, online studies. We're at home, we don't get to go out of the house. A lot of people having COVID, so we are stuck in one place. So many reasons to be anxious about. But what is the reason why exam anxiety particularly occurs? What is the reason? Anybody would like to provide the answer? Yeah. You can hear? Yeah. So exam anxiety occurs mainly because there's a fear of failure. Mainly because there's fear of failure. People feel that what if I fail in the exams? What if I get less marks? I'll be considered a loser. Everybody will laugh at me. Some uncle will ask me what I failed in what did I do? What I'm doing now? How much marks did I get? And what am I supposed to answer that uncle? I'll be losing my face. So this fear of failure is there. What to answer to somebody who asks me my marks? And so that is a primary reason for exam anxiety. Another is very high expectations from ourselves. We all have very high expectations. So, our brother or faraway cousins, they must be doctor, engineer. And then our parents expect from us that we will be doctors and we will be engineers. So because of these high expectations that he'll be an IAS officer, he'll be an IIT engineer or a doctor. So because of that, there's a lot of burden of these expectations. So because of that, again, anxiety occurs. Exam anxiety is there. So next slide, ma'am. Yeah, is all stress bad? Can anybody answer this question? Is all stress bad? I mean, everybody has experienced stress by now. Stress is universal. Who doesn't have stress? Not only exam-going kids, but otherwise also working professionals, parents, teachers. Everybody has stress. But is all stress bad?
No, sir.
No, na?
No, sir. So stress is of two
Yeah.
types, positive and negative. So it depends on the
Very nice.
situation. If the stress we take is good or bad depends on the situation.
Right. And what is positive stress?
Positive stress is maybe someone has recently got a promotion. So that person will have positive stress because he has to meet up with his boss's expectations. And negative stress may be health issues or anything like that.
Right. So somebody who's got a promotion, there is increased responsibility of the. Right. Exactly. So very right. So not so as you said, not all stress is bad. There's something known as positive stress. So what is positive stress? As our dear student just now said, positive stress is something that helps us grow. Hello. Yeah, positive stress is something that helps us grow. If there's no stress at all, I mean, what will we do? We'll be just lazy. We won't go out. We won't study at all. We'll just sit in one place, right? We'll be in our comfort zone. But little stress is necessary to have that push. Sometimes during the exams only, because of the exam stress, actually students study. If stress won't have been there, nobody would have studied actually. So little bit stress is always good. It helps us grow. So stress is like a challenge. Now COVID is there. Everybody must have taken some vaccine. Not everybody, but about 60 years, they must have taken vaccine. What is vaccine? Vaccine is nothing but a dead virus that is injected so that immunity builds up. Similarly, stress, vaccine inoculates us against bigger stress. So little stress is always necessary. That makes us prepared to face the bigger stress of life. So this exam stress actually helps us grow. So instead of taking this exam as a tension, we should take it as a challenge that helps us grow. So little stress is always good. It should be there. It is necessary for our growth. But too much stress is bad. Okay, if there's too much stress, then what will happen? Then the student won't remember what is written. Then the student won't remember what he studied. If there's too much stress, then I will be nervous. I will forget everything. I won't be able to focus on what to write. So then I'll forget the things. So then that is bad. So too much stress is bad. So little stress is always good, but too much stress is bad. Next slide. What happens in stress actually? This exam stress occurs. For some people, it is very terrible and they cannot take it anymore. But what is it exactly that happens? Suppose a snake comes in front of you. A snake comes. What will be your response? What would be your response? You will try to run away, right? You won't see the snake is poisonous or non-poisonous. Take another example. Suppose if you're crossing the road. So if a car comes at a fast speed, what will you do? You will either jump or you'll freeze, right? So we react immediately to the situation. We don't think about it. We don't see how fast the car is coming, which car is there. We just react. Similarly, under stress, we just react. We don't think. So this is known as fight or flight reflex. So we just react to the situations. So exams induce this kind of stress response, which is known as fight or flight response. In this response, what happens? The blood flow grows from the brain to the other areas, like hands and heart starts pounding, and we have shortness of breath, and we become restless. So blood from the brain goes to the other parts of the body, which are not required, and that's why we become restless. So what we have to do, we have to take a walk, we have to move around. We have to do a little workout, so that after workout we are relaxed, and then again we can think properly and focus on the exams, right? So in exams, what happens? There's fight or flight response, because of which blood from the brain goes to the body and we cannot focus more. We become forgetful. So all we have to do is just take a walk outside, so that we can when we come back, we can actually focus on something with a fresh mind, with a clear mind. Yeah. So next slide. So what do we usually do? तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं? जब भी ध्यान नहीं लगता है पढ़ाई में, एग्जाम का टेंशन आता है, एग्जाम नजदीक आई रहती है, तो हम लोग नॉर्मली क्या करते हैं? No, what do we usually do? We distract ourselves, because exams are so stressful. We start escaping. We don't want to face the exams anymore. We don't want to study anymore. Mood नहीं करता है, bore होता है. So we start escaping. The commonest way to escape is our mobile phones. So we go into the social media, we play video games. So what happens because of this social media? What happens because of this video games? We keep on scrolling. We keep on scrolling. We are alert to our notifications and things, and we keep on surfing. So we get distracted easily. So that isn't like a break. This distraction, what happens? It provokes us to do more and more. So suppose in the break, while we are studying, we take a break and we play video games. It is not that we are relaxed. We are tempted to play more and more video games. So it's like a loop. Suppose we take a break and go on a social media. So it's not a break. So we feel like scrolling more and more. And then that becomes like a loop. So it induces us to do more and more. It creates addicts out of us. We become addicted to that. And we cannot return back to studies. So these distractions, they are very bad in the sense because they don't really give an actual break to us. They divert us from what we are supposed to do. And they make us addicted. What other things we do? What are the destructive things we do? Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. So sometimes if we are not with our mobile phones, we tend to eat a lot and we tend to have a lot of coffee so that we can stay awake at night. So eating, the brain requires glucose. So we become hungry. But if we eat too much sugary and salty stuff, then our energy levels are pulled down, We get that crash, that sugar crash, and our energy levels dip. And then we are not able to focus anymore. And suppose if we have a lot of coffee, because just to stay awake at night. So whatever we have learned, we are not able to consolidate. Our sleep is very necessary to consolidate the information that we have learned. नींद बहुत जरूरी है. तो अगर बार बार कॉफी पी के अगर डिस्टर्ब हो गई तो सुबह उठ के याद रखना मुश्किल हो जाता है. Because our sleep consolidates our memory. So having a lot of sugary stuff, spicy stuff, and coffee is not good. We should have healthy, balanced diet with a lot of vitamins and minerals so that our energy levels are improved, so that we can focus more and study better. Next slide. Yeah. So what to do? So there are things that we can do while studying, So there were things that we should not do, like distractions, having a lot of sweet stuff. But what to do actually? Now there are different things that we can do. Now first is if we have to study, we'll focus on when we have to study. So normally when we read stuff, we keep on reading. We use the blue part of our brain known as occipital lobe. You can see the blue part of the brain that is known as occipital lobe. When we read, whatever we read, it falls on the backside of the brain. That is known as occipital lobe. So that part of the brain is active. But we don't use any other part of the brain. We have to use all the parts of our brain so that we can produce good output for the exams. Exams ka output acha rahega. So what are the parts of the brain and how we can use other parts of the brains? So suppose we are reading something and we are closing the material and writing it down. So when we write down, it's the parietal cortex of our brain. That is the part depicted in yellow is known as parietal lobe. When we write, use the parietal part of the brain. Then when we record a stuff, whatever we read, we record it and we listen to our recording. That time we use our temporal lobe, that is green part, but in temporal lobes of our brain. And when we plan the timetable, when we think about a timetable, we plan. The timetable is very important. We have to set timetable, so there's a particular routine that we set in and that we follow. So this timetable, so planning and organization is very important, and that guides us towards the, whenever we go to a foreign country, we need a map. Similarly, when we study, we need a timetable. And this timetable, this planning and organization is done by the front part of the brain, that is known as frontal lobe. So that way, all the parts of the brain we have to use so that we can study better, so that the output is better. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah, so what else we can do, apart from studying? But what happens when studying? There's a lot of stress that occurs. So how can we relax ourselves? What can we do so that we are relaxed? Using mobile phone is bad because it distracts us. Having a lot of foods, eating sugary stuff, spicy food, junk food is bad because it again zaps our energy levels. What we can do to relax ourselves? Best to take a walk, go outside, take a walk and come. That relaxes us. Nature walk, some exercise is good. Any exercise you do, you can do push-ups, pull-ups, you can do abs, you can do sit-ups, you can do push-ups, anything that you can do. Exercise. You can walk in the nature. Nature is very good. It de-stresses us. We can take a shower, nice warm bath, nice bath, we can take it. And many other things we can do. So these so having a hobby, maybe meditating for some time, maybe if we are involved in prayer, these are all good habits. So these all actually relax us, because these things allow our mind to wander and we get a nice break. And then when we come back to studies, we are able to focus properly. So there are these things we can do. But there are many people ask me what to do before the exams. During the exams, when I'm stressed, what to do? That time, how can I relax myself immediately? So best way to relax yourself immediately before the exams is to do the deep breathing. Little bit of deep breathing. You exhale till you inhale 2 breaths, you exhale 5 breaths. So that kind of relaxes you. So these are the various techniques which can relax you and which can help you focus better for the exams. Yes. With this, I hand over to Kasturi to take the rest of the things.
Thank you, Dr. Sujay. That was a very, very interesting and scientific insight into what we were discussing. Like he's already mentioned about the focus on health, he's already covered a very big chunk of that. Food habits, usage of coffee. I have heard recently, even in my patients or in my clients who I speak with, बच्चे दिन में 15 cups coffee पी रहे हैं just so that they can stay awake and they can study a lot, which is actually creating more anxiety in them, and that is something that we don't understand immediately. Caffeine has a very high anxiety producing component, and again, it's not letting you sleep, just like Dr. Sujay said. So I just wanted to add that anecdote, because when even I heard of it, I was really mind blown that itna coffee किसी को भी नहीं पीना चाहिए. And another part of this is, if you don't have the opportunity to go out and actually have a walk, just like Dr. Sujay said, literally doing it in the place that you are right now, getting up from the chair, just go beside in the like 10 meters away and jump, do your jumping jacks, do any pull-ups. You can do it at home. There is some concept of exercising करने के लिए घर से बाहर जाना पड़ेगा. नहीं, ऐसी जरूरत होता ही नहीं है. You can very much do it at home itself, right? And that's important now because हम घर पे हैं and घर पे ही सब कुछ हो रहा है. Next slide, please. We'll go on to the next aspect. Preparation and time management. Just like Dr. Sujay told us, preparation is of a lot of kinds. You have to learn in a way where planning the routine, building everything, which includes your health. For example, what I'm eating, when I'm eating, if I'm studying something for a long period of time on the screen, I will take a definite 1 or 2 minutes break to unwind my mind. So if it is constantly looking at the screen and writing, it has to be something which is very different from screen related activities. So 2 मिनट के लिए मैं अपना imaginative brain use कर रही हूँ. I'm just creating the story in my mind, or I'm thinking, what will I do after my boards are over? Something like that. Or what will I do after I do this? I'll go talk to my parents about this. Go talk to my siblings about this. Anything that will give you that 1 minute break in your mind is also very, very important. There is this technique that we use while studying or while just preparing for anything, which is called as a Pomodoro technique. Now, the name is not important. The idea behind it is important, which says that you study constantly for 25 minutes and you take a break of 5 or 10 minutes. So even if you have to study constantly for 3 घंटा and you're saying कि नहीं 3 घंटा पढ़ना ही है और मेरे पास option नहीं है, so you still give yourself those 5-10 minutes break in between. Study for 25, break for 5. Study for 25. Similarly, the entire pattern until you're able to take a longer break. Okay, that is one of a very important thing that we do for meditation. Another thing is, somewhere children know, as of today, every child that I have been speaking with, a student who is in 10th standard, they know the importance of board exams. It's very different from when we were kids and when we were giving our board exams. तभी हमारे पेरेंट्स को ना बहुत ज्यादा बोलना पड़ता था कि बोर्ड्स के लिए ये करो वो करो. टुडे 6th standard kids are coming to us and telling हमें IIT का वो एग्जाम देना है या फिर things like that. So when we were in 6th, we didn't even know what IIT is. So the concept is changed, very different from what it used to be before, right? So having that, it's important for kids to know that you're not really part of any race. That race is the social construct. लोग बोलते हैं उस race के बारे में. The race or the competition that people have is only with yourself. So your life is only going to be yours, and the more you try to run away from it, it will somewhere catch up on you. So दूसरों के साथ comparison करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं होती है. It's only how much I can give from my side today, and I'll give my best. That is the most important part, even for preparation. Way I talk, way I think about my approach towards my examination, right? Now we'll go to the next slide. Importance of break is something Dr. Sujay already mentioned. We'll talk about being present in the focus on the present. Because there is so much fear and anxiety, because we have so much going on in our mind. कोरोना चल रहा है, ये हो रहा है, मुझे फ्रेंड्स से नहीं मिल पाए हम, farewell होना था, every batch gets their farewell. We couldn't get our farewell. We are not able to meet our friends, wear fancy clothes and have that time for us. ये सब सोच चलते we end up thinking about the past or about the future, and we don't we're not able to see what's going on right now in the present. So preparing my mind to try to bring my focus to the present as much as possible helps us a lot. So biggest thing that we can do is self-talk. Talk to ourselves, tell yourself, be that responsible person से कि नहीं अभी मैं थोड़ा अपने इस पे ध्यान दूंगी या फिर दूंगा, and later I can think about those aspects as well. Next slide, please. Yes. Now this is something which Dr. Sujay already spoke about, but a little bit more technical in nature. There is 2 types of motivation that we can have, right? एक motivation होती है जो अंदर से आती है, that I am feeling motivated today, so I will do that thing. दूसरी motivation होती है जो मम्मी पापा हमारे पीछे पड़े रहते हैं, that is called as an extrinsic motivation. Somebody else is telling us to do it, so we are no even मन नहीं कर रहा, बिल्कुल भी नहीं करना है, तो भी करना पड़ेगा, right? Would any student weigh on this particular feeling? Have you guys felt something like this? And if you have, then what is it that goes on in your mind at that point of time?
I think they wouldn't like to discuss it publicly.
All right, there is no issue. One thing I saw in the chat as well is there is that fear of judgment. which happens during that time, you know, people have mentioned it on the chat to me. Also about procrastination, not being able to actually do what they're thinking about. Plan kar rahe hai, intention hai, lekin kar nahi pa rahe, that activity is not happening. Now why is that happening? Because our entire motivation is directed by that fear. भागना है हमें उस चीज से. We don't want to face it, we are scared, just like that fight and flight mechanism that Dr. Sujay spoke about. So avoidance. Now avoidance motivation से क्या होता है कि मैं आज तो उस चीज को टाल सकती हूँ, today I can avoid it, but later it will catch up on me. For example, here a very important factor of giving your examinations with full honesty and loyalty comes into the picture. Now we all know all the exams were going on online. There are a lot of students who were copying from the textbooks, from the other classmates, discussing amongst themselves on WhatsApp, which was happening, and it is a fact. So we cannot just contemplate or say that अरे इन्होंने तो ऐसे किया, या फिर उनको हम shame नहीं कर सकते कि ये सब चीजें हो रही थी. Why were they doing it is important to understand. They were doing that because avoid करना था. उस चीज का डर बहुत ज्यादा है, समझ में नहीं आता है कि उसको कैसे face करें. But when we are motivated to avoid things, it scares us even more जब actual board exam सामने आता है. So when the board exam is actually in front of me from 5 years down the line, it will be, I will not be able to avoid it anymore, and my anxiety peaks up even more in that particular situation. So instead what we can do is take an approach motivation. So उसका मतलब क्या, अभी भी 1 महीना के लगभग है हमारे पास. Even if there have been times where I have cheated or copied from something else in the past, I can change that pattern of studying right now. I can focus it more with respect to I want to learn this, I want to face my fears, कि मुझे एग्जाम में जाके डर ना लगे, इसलिए मैं अभी से उस चीज का प्रिपरेशन करूंगी. Not because I won't avoid it so that I feel better later. We have to see that gap over there कि हम अभी उस मोटिवेशन को अवॉइड करने से बाद में प्रॉब्लम होगा. So rather अभी मैं घर पे हूँ, I'll just do it. I'll just try to do my best in whatever capacity I have. So understanding that aspect as well. The next slide, please. Yes. So in those situations, we can actually sit and ask ourselves that why am I avoiding this? Is it because I don't know this subject? Is it because somebody is scolding me? क्योंकि मुझे बुरा लग रहा है इसके बारे में, या फिर मैं डर बहुत हो रहा है. Why am I avoiding it? And what can I do about it? अगर मुझे टीचर्स से एक्सेस नहीं मिल रहा है and I'm not able to do it क्योंकि मुझे सीखने नहीं मिल रहा, कोई सिखाने वाला नहीं है. So you communicate about this to your parents that I am not understanding this part and I need help. So if the parents are capable enough, they will try. Otherwise, you can ask your tuition teacher, whoever you trust amongst your circle. You can talk about it to your friends as well, right? कभी कभी बच्चे पेरेंट्स के साथ ओपनली ये चीजें बोल नहीं पाते हैं, and which is understandable and it's all right. But find that one person. It could be an aunt, it could be an uncle, it could be a cousin. Find that one person with whom you can share that particular thing. I am finding it very difficult to do this. And that could be a major change of approach, to reducing that stress and anxiety, feeling understood and finding a way. मुझे नहीं मिल रहा तो कोई और ढूंढ के देगा मुझे, right? Okay, the next slide over here. Building a routine, like Dr. Sujay, again, he has already mentioned the importance of routine, how it helps us to keep our body and mind in structure. It regulates habit formation. हम बाकी सब कुछ भूल सकते हैं, लेकिन सुबह उठ के हमें रोज ब्रश करना होता है. I will not forget to brush my teeth. Why? Because it's been a habit for me since years, right? Similarly, if we build small little habits that I will study for this much time immediately in the morning, I'll have food, my breakfast at this time, your body will remind you. Your body will say that okay, you're hungry, go have your food. जब हम focus कर रहे होते पढ़ाई पे, खाना पीना कुछ याद नहीं रहता, right? Hence, habit building and building routine is important, and understanding rewards. So a lot of times, because we are avoiding, we use those breaks as a reward. कि बाद में करेंगे. I deserve to take some break right now. I've been studying the whole day yesterday. So yesterday is gone. Yesterday is gone. Today I have to use my reward, that break, क्योंकि मैंने 2 घंटा अच्छे से पढ़ाई किया. So I will reward myself with that break. So using those rewards in the right way, right? And for parents, what they can do.
చేసిస్తాము మళ్ళీ తప్పేమనంటే అడగనే
May I request the audience to please put their A on mute because there's a lot of disturbance happening. So y'all can unmute only when y'all have a question or an answer to it. The rest of the time, please be on mute.
మొత్తాకి
నెక్స్ట్ నిర్మాణం తీసుకుంటాం సమాధానం కట్టయితే డైరెక్ట్ గా ఎవరిని మాట్లాడించలేదు.
Hello.
Yeah, doctor, I think you can.
Yeah, I'll just carry on. I think you can also, as a host, you can also mute
Yes,
them. So
I'm doing that.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So, like I was saying, you have to give yourself rewards for doing small rewards. Now, these rewards don't have to be, आज मैंने इतना पढ़ाई किया तो कल एक कपड़ा जाके खरीदेंगे, या I deserve an ice cream for this. Not something that big and tangible probably, but you can definitely have that ice cream. Ice cream is not a big, thing. Whatever makes you happy, you can just go and have a good conversation. You can dance around the house. Use those things as a reward to how much ever time you're studying, because you deserve it. You very much deserve getting and giving those rewards to your own self. Similarly with parents, maybe giving them a special dish as a surprise, something that they love eating, making something like that for them once in a while, a week of very tough days. And then kids would be very happy to receive something like that. Or simple things, although teenagers are a little wary about these things, go and give them a hug. They will say that they don't like it, but most of the times they secretly do. तो जाके थोड़ा अपने बच्चों को hug दे दो, and don't ask too many questions, because in that moment kids get quite vulnerable and they get very overwhelmed by things like that. Okay, the next slide please. The concept of failure. There's a difference between what failure actually is and what failure feels like. A lot of times, because I've not achieved my goal, I feel like a failure. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैंने कुछ भी नहीं किया है. अगर मैंने 30% भी किया है, मेरे दिमाग में रहेगा कि अरे बाकी तो मैंने किया ही नहीं, इतना बड़ा गोल था. Now there the problem is twofold. One is मैंने अपना गोल ही बहुत ज्यादा हाई सेट कर दिया है कि मैं वो अचीव ही नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. So I'll set goals which is more realistic for me and I will achieve them. उसका भी अगर मैंने 30, 80, 90% कर दिया, it's more than enough. So looking at what you have done rather than focusing on अरे इतना नहीं हो पाया and getting more and more tense. So that concept of feeling about a failure is something which we can change within ourselves by looking at the amount which is done. Coping with it, like I mentioned, focusing on the amount done. Expectations. Now more than currently what I see is more than the expectations of the parents. Even if the parents are understanding and they are giving the child their space and everything, children have students have a lot of expectation out of themselves itself. मतलब इन्होंने अपने दिमाग में बहुत ही सारा बड़ा expectation बना के रखा है, and which is not matching with the current situation all around them. They have capability. Every child has a huge amount of capability and caliber, no questions asked. But because of those expectations and fear and so much of lack of access, we have to understand and keep our expectations accordingly, in accordance to that. Okay, this is especially for kids and also for parents, because a lot of times parents बोलने लगते हैं कि तुमको ये नहीं तुमने ये नहीं किया, हमें इतना परसेंट चाहिए, हमें उतना परसेंट चाहिए. इस साल हम इसके बारे में ज्यादा सोच नहीं सकते. Everything is changed, the entire dynamic is changed. So that is something which has to be there very careful. We can just do our best. So we'll give our best. All right. The next slide. Okay. So here we have come to almost the end of the session. I have a few messages to parents specifically to talk about. Both of us would like to have that. Before we reach to that, I would like to speak with the students who are here with us. And here, if you have any more questions to ask us, we're both here. Please do. Any kind of questions that you have or something that we spoke of, you did not understand, please ask us. You can use the chat also. No questions?
Hello, parents and kids. See, they are here to answer all your queries. Please do ask the questions before the session is over.
Okay. All right. Shall I move ahead?
Yes, Kasturi ma'am, I think you should.
Okay. If anybody has a question, please feel free to type it out on the chat. I will read it and answer. Okay. Here. Okay. So there's a question that came up that. Hello. Yeah. So I got a question on the chat saying, how can I as a parent ensure that my child is not overworked or fatigued? A very, very interesting question, which is where we come to this part of the message to parents session. One of the most important things that we can do is to try and understand things that your child is not vocally communicating with you, because they are teenagers, they are 14, 15, 16-year olds. They are not going to be sharing each and everything that they feel or they have on their mind. Their entire focus shifts from being with parents to more with their friends. However, there's always signs. You can see your kids and understand that there's something which is bothering them, rather than trying to pinpoint or poke them ki bata, like ma'am said in the beginning of the session, constantly nagging them about it. Give that child a safe space. Tell the child that you can come to me and just share whatever you wish to share. I am right here for you. Assurances about how you actually feel. Vocalizing that assurance is very important. हर बच्चे को पता है कि मेरे पेरेंट्स है मेरे साथ, बट वो सुनने में जो एक रिलीफ होता है ना कि माय पेरेंट इज एक्चुअली कमिंग एंड टेलिंग मी दैट आई अंडरस्टैंड, आई नो इट्स डिफिकल्ट एंड वी आर हियर फॉर यू, that has a huge impact on reducing the stress levels of a child. They can focus on their work without a huge amount of anxiety because they have that person to rely on, right? The next point here is something we have already discussed. Every child is unique. There shouldn't be this comparison with anybody else. ना ही अपने बाकी बच्चों से. हर एक बच्चा अलग होता है, so there's no need to compare with their siblings. बड़े भाई ने ऐसा क्या था, तुमसे क्यों नहीं हो रहा? These words are very harmful to be uttered to a child. And these things are very difficult for children to even process and vocalize, like I mentioned before. तो कंपैरिजन नहीं करना है, ना ही अपने बच्चों में ना ही दूसरे बच्चों में. उसको तो 80% 90% आ रहा है, तुमको क्यों नहीं करने हो रहा? What is wrong? Why are you not doing it? You should be able to do it. So these are very harsh words to be said to the child. There's definitely some reason. Ask it in a way where they are able to share to you about it. If we pinpoint ऐसे करके तो वो नहीं बताएंगे, वो डर जाएंगे, right? Next thing is pressures of the society. Can we have the next point? Yeah, pressures of the society, which means that again, कौन क्या बोलेगा, सब लोग मेरे मार्क्स के बारे में पूछेंगे, परसेंटेज के बारे में पूछेंगे. We have to protect our kids from that. Our kids need to know that if they are not okay with sharing their marks with others, I will respect that. I have a bigger responsibility towards my kid than to the society. क्योंकि बच्चा पहले आता है. Only then there is anybody else in the society that matters, right? So everything else has to be managed and spoken and vocalized accordingly. Next part is education is not a part of, it is a part of life. It is not the entire life. So here I usually get in conflict with some parents saying the education तो बहुत important है, उसके बिना कैसे आगे बढ़ेंगे, ये big words related to that. True, I completely agree with the fact that education is important, but the way we learn is different with every single human being. शायद मेरी education की Shamta, I don't have that capacity to read and write and understand things as well as I might in a different way. Maybe I'm more creative. तो उस चीज को समझना जरूरी होता है. And we cannot say that our marks is talking about how good I am in education. Again, it's not the entirety of life. It's just one part of life. There's more things like happiness, family, safety, which matters way more and needs to have a good balance into it. And somewhere parents find it difficult to understand this. इसलिए बच्चों को भी उस चीज का प्रेशर आने लगता है. Again, next part, direct answer to the question that was asked in the beginning. Nagging does not work. कितना भी try कर लियो, it is not going to work with your kids, with your partners, with anybody. Nagging just does not work at all. Next point, rationalizing. What does rationalizing mean? कि जो भी चीज समझाना है उसको लॉजिक देके समझाओ, एग्जाम्पल से समझाओ कि बेटा ऐसा ऐसा करोगे तो तुम्हें फायदा है, या फिर दिस इज व्हाट यू विल गेट. When you give examples and reasoning, the child understands rather than just telling the child, don't do this, don't do that, and making it a very harsh atmosphere for them. Next point is reward, encourage, support. Now, reward here, like I already mentioned before, can be some small thing. आज एक special dish, जाके hug दे दिया, बोल दिया कि अरे you are doing very well with this. I saw that you maintained your routine completely today. You were able to do that, and I'm very proud of you for that. Those small little things matter a lot in a child's mind. Ki, okay, I did something and it was noticed, right? So reward, encourage, and support them in how much ever is possible. Next point, very important point here, is a parent's love is not dependent on the marks, and neither should it be. Marks jitna ho, kam zyada ho, my love for my child is not going to just disappear because of that marks, right? Students sometimes fear this, and if they have this fear, it can take their mind to different levels of sadness, low feeling. तो ये बात अगेन वोकलाइज करना, बताना बच्चे को ठीक है, we want you to get good marks, but we are still going to love you if something goes haywire there. ये बोलना बताना जरूरी है. Last point here is don't take away a child's confidence even if he or she does not perform. Just because somebody is getting less marks does not mean they are not smart or they cannot do well in future. They can do well in future, and if you say these things to them कि अरे तुम्हारा तो बहुत बुरा हो गया, कुछ नहीं हो सकता, तुम आगे नहीं बढ़ोगे, these words बच्चे इस चीज को क्या बोलते हैं, एक रूल बुक जैसे फॉलो करने लगते हैं, even though they wouldn't have felt that way, because a parent or somebody, any elder person said something like this, they will start losing their confidence. जैसे उनकी कॉन्फिडेंस कम होते जाएगी, उनका परफॉर्मेंस और कम होते जाएगा. तो ऐसे वर्ड्स बिल्कुल नहीं बोलने हैं अपने बच्चों को, उनका कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं वहां से छीनना है. वी जस्ट हैव टू कीप बीइंग वेरी सपोर्टिव एंड सेइंग कि ठीक है, it's okay, we will work harder for the next time, we are with you, very supportive. There are a few questions in the chat that I will just discuss here. My son likes to study in his room with door locked. He says he feels safe and focused. Is this right for a teenager to do? How should we take it as a parent? There are two parts over here. One is, if the door is locked, it may mean that somewhere they are fearing कि पेरेंट्स अंदर आ जाएंगे विदाउट माय परमिशन. तो एक चीज हम वहां पे एस्टैब्लिश कर सकते हैं, वी कैन मेक अ डिस्कशन कॉमन ग्राउंड कि लेट्स मेक अ पैक्ट, वी विल नॉट एंटर योर रूम विदाउट नॉकिंग और अनलेस यू लेट अस कम इन, एंड हम अंदर नहीं आएंगे, लेकिन आप डोर अंदर से लॉक मत करना, बिकॉज वो थोड़ा कभी कभी डेंजरस भी हो सकता है. सो रिस्पेक्ट देयर प्राइवेसी. दे प्रोबेबली लॉकिंग द डोर क्योंकि उनको वो डिस्टर्बेंस हो रहा है. So it's okay. They want to focus. The child wants to focus in their own study. घर पे बाकी चीजें चल रही है. But it is also our responsibility to maintain their boundaries. अगर वो डोर लॉक बंद करना चाहता है तो हम नॉक करके अंदर जाएंगे, पूछेंगे कि can we come in, or telling them that हम 1 घंटा बाद आएंगे, we have some work. So please respect their boundaries. They will also listen to you. So it is both ways, right? I think there is another question. How to build resilience in gender for teenagers? Resilience building is a lot to do with repetitive, again, a lot of things related to what we've already discussed. Resilience is अगर कोई चीज डट के सामना करना, मतलब in spite of there being a lot of problems, लाइफ में बहुत इश्यूज हो रहे, फिर भी मैं आगे बढ़ते जा रहा हूँ. So a safe environment. As a parent, you can give them that safe environment. Ki beta, okay, you are going to fall 10 times. It's okay. We will take care of you. But you give your best. We are there to support you for that. That could be one of the biggest, methods to give, the child how to be more resilient in that particular moment. Baki, children are smart. They find their way out. They figure out what works better with them, what doesn't work better with them. Giving that space to have that communication. जाके एक दिन बैठ जाना बच्चे के पास कि बेटा सब कैसे चल रहा है? Is everything okay? Is there something that is troubling you? This question is barely ever asked by a parent to their child. Not to do with studies. A lot of their stressors are nothing to do with studies. It could be to do with other aspects of their life. So just sit, listen. You don't have to give them advices. कभी कभी वो सिर्फ बोलना चाहते हैं, एडवाइस नहीं चाहते, वो भी चीजें कहीं ना कहीं मैटर करती हैं. All right, this I would just like to ask Dr. Suja to continue with the last part of the conclusion. This is where I finish with the parental addressing. Yes, Dr. Suja.
Hi. Yeah, so final concluding part, what should parents do? We spoke about children. What can children do? So final concluding part is what can parents do? But Kasturi summarized it all very well. So what parents can do is, usually parents do a lot of punishment to children these days. Every small thing they punish it. Don't be on mobile phone. Don't watch TV. Don't do this. Don't do that. And the parents themselves are on mobile phones. They themselves are on the TV. They themselves are watching YouTube. They themselves are playing video games. And so the children don't do as parents say, but they do as parents do. So you yourself should take care that you don't do those things what you advise your child. One thing. Secondly, exams are near, so children, they need a little break. They need to talk to somebody. They need encouragement. They need reassurance. So if you're going to advise to the children, they're not going to listen to you at that time. They're already stressed out. Their cup is full. Their brain is full with a lot of thoughts. So your advice will irritate them. So, and they are teenagers. At teenagers, that rebelliousness is already there in them because they're at that age where they rebel. So on top of that, you're going to provoke something, you're going to advise something, they are definitely going to rebel. So best is not to advise them anything, but to listen to them first. Listen to them completely, give them your full attention. And if they have any doubts, just answer them, reassure them, everything will be fine. So don't worry, I'm there with you. Even though you get less marks, it's okay, but you put on effort. So focus on effort rather than marks. Don't tell them you have to get certain marks. Don't tell them that you have to get certain marks. Tell them to put an effort. Once they put effort, automatically marks will come. So the parents can be a source of, parents can be a real anchor for the children, and they can be a source of support where they look up to, and they have to be like kind of grounded themselves so that they can give children that kind of a, strong, they can be themselves role model for their children. And lastly, for children, my advice would be, next slide is it? Yeah, last advice for the child would be to have 3 P's, 3 P's. What are the 3 P's? First P is positive interaction. Second P is positive action. And third P is positive thought. So positive interactions are like children should have positive interactions with their peers and with their parents, with the students who encourage them, with other peers who are whom they get motivated with positive-minded friends. They should have good discussion with, and not with those friends who are not serious about studies. No, they should not interact much with those friends who are not serious about studies, not coming to class regularly, or who might distract them from their goals. So have good peers. So good interaction is important. Then positive interaction. Then positive action is important. Now, students usually say that I don't have moods, so I don't feel like studying. My mood is not this, I won't study. The mood will never come and you will never study. So once you study, automatically the mood will come. So positive action. So keep studying, automatically you will develop the mood to study. So all you have to do about studies is just sit to study. So positive action, interaction, positive action, and last is positive thought. Maintain that positive thought, have those positive interactions. Best is to put the photo of your role model, whoever your role model is. My role model was Sylvester Stallone. I used to put his picture right in the front of my bedroom and used to observe him. The way he used to, have that machine gun and kill all those enemies. Similarly, I take my pen and my stationery, and then I write the exam paper. So my pen are my weapons to write the paper, and that's how I get inspired by the role models. So have those inspirational role models, and do your best for the exams. And with this, I wish you best of luck to children and their parents. Wish you all the best, and may you succeed in your life, and not only in your exams, in life also. And with that, we come to an end. And it was really good to interact with all of you. Thanks a lot, ma'am, and thanks, students, for interacting. And any questions there, we will be glad to answer.
Thank you, doctors. Thanks for the beautiful session you have given. It's going to be a very helpful session for all the kids and parents.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
One question I have for the audience. Are there any questions, or we take it as an end of the session?
I think all the parents and kids are very shy, I suppose so. But I'm sure they'll try to contact personal level with you all in the hospital directly, maybe.
Okay.
But your session was
Absolutely.
really great. The session was really great, and thanks a lot for your valuable time.
Fine.
Particularly thanks
really
to
good
you
to
too
interact.
for arranging this.
Yeah, thank you. You're most welcome, and
Thank
we
you.
look forward to more such sessions.
Yes.
And I would like to thank our speakers for sparing their time. Today being Saturday, I know they are mostly busy with some other workshops, but they have made it for us. Thank you, both of you, and we look forward to your support. And Neetuji, thank you so much. I'll make available whenever you have the requirement. I will share the available times of both our speakers, so we can take it forward that.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And now we
Thank
end the
you.
session. Thank you. And wish you
Thank
all
you
a
so
very
much.
happy Holi. Thank you.
Same to you. Wish you all happy holiday. Bye bye.
Happy Holi.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See you. Take care.
End.